We're going to talk about jQuery UI, and this is a place where you can get a lot of really interesting interactive tools for your websites. First thing I'm going to need you to do is open up jqueryui.com. You can see that up here. And what this is a library of gadgets that are based on the jQuery library of JavaScript tools. So when you get into programming, you will learn a little bit more about the JavaScript behind this, but you really don't need to know any programming at all to employ these. And we're going to talk about two methods. The first method is actually getting the code and everything that you need from the jQuery UI site, which is my preference. But also there's some built-in methods using Dreamweaver. So the first thing I want you to do is go ahead and pop open the jQuery UI site. And if you look at the demo here, you can see all the different tools that jQuery has available. Now the nice thing about using the site over just using Dreamweaver is that you have more options. For instance, Dreamweaver doesn't have all of these interactions built in. It does have the widgets built in. So for instance, we have the draggable, droppable, and all of these things here have different options. For instance, if I want to have something constrained within a parent, I can click here and I can see this is constrained on the Y vertices, this is constrained on the X, this is constrained within this larger box, it's constrained within a smaller box, and all of this code is already available. If you just open this up and view the source, don't be intimidated by this. I'm going to go over all of what all of this stuff is. But really the only things that you're going to need to copy are these styles, which you'll be able to adjust. The style and the function. So you can just actually paste that in, and notice that this is based on IDs. So this has ID draggable 2. And that's really the only thing you'll necessarily have to change, the things here that are in red. But the IDs, and then it has the HTML code. So remember, the only things, if you follow my site and hook up the blank site the way I ask you to, you have to get the style, the function, and the HTML from here, and that's all you need once you get the page set up. The other thing that you're going to want to do is look at your theme roller. So how do you want these things to actually look? So I'm going to go over here to the theme roller, and I can look at the gallery, and I can pick something that is similar to how I want it. So let's say I want to make my pages look kind of like this. Now if I want to go ahead and edit this site, I can also do that by hitting the edit button here. And this is going to allow me to change different things. For instance, if I want to change what my active states look like, I could pick a different color here. So I can go ahead and change any of these things that I want. I'm not going to go ahead and change them right now, but if I wanted to, or if you want to go ahead and play with these things, I can actually do that. And then what I'm going to do is download these themes. So say download the theme, and this will open up my download page. Now I'm going to use a CDN, or content deployment or content distribution network, to do my JavaScript and my jQuery. So actually I'm going to untoggle all of these things, so none of this stuff is toggled. If I wanted to download the jQuery libraries, I could do that, but I don't want to necessarily do that. So all I actually want to get from here is my theme. So I'm going to go ahead and download this, and I will talk to you about hooking up the CDN and the benefits of that later. And the benefits to actually doing this, where you would download these code, the jQuery, is that you would have it in your library. But the CDN is probably already cached in people's memories, so it's a little bit easier to use that for something this common. So I went ahead and I saved that. Now it is in my it's in my downloads. So it's going to be right here. I'm going to go ahead and unzip that, extract all. You can see I've been doing this a little bit. Extract. So inside of this, I have a few CSS sheets. So I would actually copy the CSS only. I need this, the UI CSS, and then the theme CSS. And you can either do the minimized, or the non-minimized. The only difference with this is that it has removed all of the white space. But the contents of this and this are exactly the same, the minimized versus non-minimized. You'll see they do that with the JavaScript code and with various different things throughout. But you only need one. You need jQuery-UI CSS minimized or not minimized. Okay. Let me delete these other things because they're confusing. Remember, these things I said we're going to get from the CDN, so we don't need that. So I have a folder on my desktop here. And I can actually replace the CSS that I need. You can see that I need the jQuery UI CSS. Actually, as I said, I only need one of those or the other. And then the theme CSS. So let's go ahead and replace that. Saying, do I want to replace? Yeah, go ahead and replace it. I'm going to delete that. I'm only going to use the minimized file, so I need that one and that one. So let me get this from here. Remind me to make sure that that's hooked up. Okay, so those are the only two that I need. That's actually the only two things I'm going to use from this particular file. Now I can go ahead and get rid of that. So there's my folder. I'm going to go ahead and open up my Dreamweaver here. It's saying, hey, you changed those files. Should we reload them? And yes. So I created here a blank HTML that has the basic information in it. So the only thing that I did with this is I took these CDN libraries and I put the links in here. So what this is doing is it's actually getting the JavaScript information from the internet, from the jQuery site. And you can get CDNs. I believe there's a jQuery CDN at Google. There's probably one at Yahoo, maybe one at Amazon. So you may see these in different locations, but I went straight to the horse's mouth here so I could get the most recent best copy that I could get. And you'll notice that I have the regular jQuery and I have the jQuery UI. These are actually, if you go to code.jquery.com, you can see here that they will give you the links to the most recent. So this is actually where these are from. So the jQuery UI, most recent. If I get the minified here, I would just copy that library. So that's my jQuery UI minified. Then I could go back in here, see which one is my minified file, and put that in there. So that's really the only places where it comes from, and you need these two. You need the minified, and you need the UI, and you need regular jQuery. And I must have actually gone over one of my important ones here. I have the jQuery UI, and I need regular jQuery, jQuery core, minified. So here we go. I got that. Control copy. Let me make sure I have both of these actually. So I'm going to go over this because I want the jQuery library to be first and the jQuery UI to be second. The reason why I want that is because the jQuery UI library is dependent upon things that are in the jQuery library. So the jQuery library has to load first. So I have the jQuery library and the jQuery UI. Simple as that. Additionally, now I put in links to my two style sheets that I had here inside of my CSS. I can delete this one because I'm not using it. So I have a connection here to the jQuery UI minimum and the jQuery UI theme. And I'll go ahead and zip up this folder and put it on the website so you can actually start here with this blank page if you like. Now I can call this whatever I want, but I'm going to go ahead and save this so that I know that it's correct. And now I am going to call this test, whatever I want to do. File, save as, so I don't overwrite my blank. I'll call it test. Okay. So also inside of this blank, I created this container div because I want everything to go inside of this container div. That's not in the default page for Dreamweaver. Also notice that I put here a little indicator. That's a code comment indicator, just to indicate that that is my div for the container. And a lot of times I'll do that because as opening and closing tags for divs get stretched out, a lot of times it's easy to get confused and get lost along the way. So a lot of times I will tag those and comment those out. Okay, so now I have my nice blank page here. Let's go get some jQuery. So I can go now into the demos and see what I like here. So let's say I want to get something draggable. Since my page is already set up, remember the three things that I need to get? I need to get the style. So I'll go ahead and just grab this style. Place that in my heading, and see I have my style tags already there. So I don't need to, I think I grabbed the style tags. So remember, I only need to open one set of style tags here. So for other things, I'll just paste them within these existing style tags. The same is true for any code tags that I may get. So here I need to get my script. I need that. That also goes in the header. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. Actually, I probably want to move this up to the top. My character set, not that it really matters, but I like it up there a little bit better. Oops, I guess I already have it. I had it twice. Okay, so I have now, again, my style, my script, and now all I need is the HTML code. So I'll go ahead and take this. It has to go inside of my container. And there it is. If I go ahead and see this live, there it is. I can drag that around. Now let's go ahead and add some additional functionality to this page just for fun. Let's say we want to have an accordion. So I'm going to go up and get the code for accordion. So let's take a view here at the source. Okay. I don't have any style associated with this, but I do have a script. I already have my script tag open and started, so I'm just going to take the contents for that script. So I'm going to say copy. I can put this inside of my script tag, so I'm just going to bump that down, paste that in. Oops, excuse me, that's in my style. It should be inside of my script tag here. So finish that function off. Put that there, so I have two functions in there. And then I need my HTML code. So here it gives me where my accordion starts and finishes, and that's everything that's on the page. So really I'm just down here. I'm going to copy all of that. Nice thing about Dreamweaver here is I can select and see where this div opens and stops, so I know that I need to put this after. So there we go. And now I can go in and I can change all of this contents here. So instead of having this be this, I can call it, instead of section 1, I could say IMED 1316 IMED 1401. IMED 2351. And then whatever contents I want in there, I would change it. And if I needed to add more, you can see how this works. If you just take a little look at the code in here, you can add more sections, close sections, whatever you want to do. So let's go ahead and take a look at this in Fireworks. There, it's working. I don't think I like my theme very much, but everything I put in there is working.